Every morning we are faced with an important choice. We can wake up and let the day carry us along unconsciously, allowing circumstances to dictate our direction. Or we can choose to actively steer our own path. From the very first moments of the morning, you can take time to speak affirmations to yourself, not hollow phrases that simply paint over fleeting emotions, but honest, profound declarations that come from your values, life principles, and goals. The words you speak are not just words. They are instructions to your mind, a lighthouse for your emotions and actions. They shape your attitude throughout the day, helping you live intentionally rather than being swept away by the chaos of the outside world. Picture this: each morning you tell yourself 5 things, 5 personal declarations that lay the foundation for a meaningful day. Each statement is like a brick. You are gradually building a fortress of the mind, a refuge of steadiness, willpower, and courage. That wall will protect you when storms come, keeping you grounded when life gets rough. And here's the miracle: by repeating those affirmations daily, you're not just reminding yourself of the person you aspire to be, you are actually becoming that person. Each morning is a small step. Each word is a guidepost. It's like adjusting your inner compass to direct your entire day. It's a small habit that creates a big difference over time. The affirmations you choose to say to yourself shape your energy, influence your decisions, and remind you of your inner strength. They are like a compass guiding you through temptations, challenges, and distractions. They keep you on the path toward your best self. The goal isn't perfection, but purposeful direction. It's about beginning each day with mindfulness, so that when night falls, you can look back and say, today was worth living. Today had meaning. And the first thing you should say to yourself every morning is, today I take responsibility. Responsibility, a simple word, yet immensely powerful. It is the foundation for everything else. When you begin your day with a mindset of full responsibility, you are claiming your power. No one else, not circumstances, not fate. You are the one steering the ship of your life. You can't change the direction of the wind, but you can adjust your sails. To take responsibility is to master yourself. It's not about blaming the sea, the waves, or the boat. It's understanding that no matter what happens, you always have the power to choose your response. And that is true freedom. One of the most empowering realizations in life is this: circumstances do not define you. Your response does. Taking responsibility does not mean you are at fault. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It simply means you choose to take control. You decide not to blame, not to surrender, and not to wait for someone or something else to change. When you say, today I take responsibility, you're committing to choices of action and attitude that align with your core values. You are living with intention, not merely reacting to the world. You don't need to handle everything perfectly. You will stumble. There will be days when things go off track. But when you take responsibility, you don't deny or avoid it. You learn from it. You get back up. You adjust your course. You keep moving stronger, wiser. Taking responsibility means that when you fail, you don't fall into a pit of self-blame or self-pity. Instead, you ask, what did I learn? What will I do differently next time? And then you take action. You become the CEO of your own life. A great leader never blames the economy, competitors, or circumstances when things get tough. A true CEO steps back, observes, evaluates the situation, and makes the necessary adjustments. They take responsibility for outcomes because they understand it's the only way to lead effectively, not by pointing fingers, but by taking action. So when you say, today I take responsibility, you step into that role, the role of the leader of your own life. You become the CEO of your day. You're no longer waiting for others to manage your emotions, goals, or actions. You're declaring that no matter what happens, you will face it with maturity, resilience, and determination. Why start the day with this declaration? because the morning is your most precious time. Your mind is still fresh, unclouded by noise, pressure, or distractions. It's the ideal moment to set your direction before the day's chaos arrives. Think of it as tuning your internal compass. When you say, "Today I take responsibility," you're training your mind to focus on solutions, not problems. You're prioritizing action over complaint. This simple statement becomes a powerful tool to help you notice when you're slipping into a blame mindset. It's like a reset button pulling you out of negativity and bringing you back into the space of control. And here's the magic. When you truly live with a spirit of responsibility, you stop waiting for the perfect moment to begin. Too many people delay their dreams, their goals, and their highest intentions, hoping that someday the perfect time will come. But the truth is, there is no perfect time. Time will never be enough. Circumstances will never be ideal. If you want to move forward, you must start where you are with what you have and do the best you can with everything in your hands. We have shared so much throughout this journey. If you find these messages helpful and meaningful, take a moment to reflect and share your thoughts. The fact that you're here reading these final lines is proof that you're truly listening, not just with your ears, but with your heart. Responsibility keeps you grounded in reality. It is not about idealistic dreams. It's about having a clear view of where you are right now with both opportunities and limitations, and then asking yourself, what can I do with this? A mindset of responsibility leaves no room for excuses. It's a way of life. A courageous mindset that says, I won't sit around waiting for something to happen. I will be the one who makes it happen. When you bring this spirit into each day, you begin to see results. Not results from luck, but from real progress, bit by bit, action by action in the real world. When you say, "Today I take responsibility," you're not just saying words, you're declaring a philosophy of life, a personal commitment that no matter what happens, you will stand firm, you will act with courage, and you will not give up. It is a promise that you will take the wheel of your life, that you will learn from failure, that you will keep moving forward even when things are far from perfect. And the best part, when you live with a sense of responsibility, you don't need anyone to push you, because you have become the strongest driving force in your own life. You don't need a perfect plan, all the right answers, or ideal conditions to begin. The only thing you need is the commitment to do your best with what you have, and that is enough. When you live with responsibility, you not only transform yourself, you also make a positive impact on those around you. Your friends, your family, your colleagues will witness how you face challenges, how you rise after failure, and most importantly, how you refuse to complain or place blame. That choice creates a powerful ripple effect. When you act with responsibility, you inspire others to do the same. You become a role model, a source of strength for others to follow. And before long, you're not just improving in your own life. You're helping to build a culture of responsibility, resilience, and sustainable growth. Each morning when you wake up, take a quiet moment to say to yourself with full determination, "Today I take responsibility." Feel the weight of that statement, but at the same time feel the power it gives you. When you choose to take responsibility, you free yourself from the chains of excuses, from the trap of blame, and from the prison called waiting for the perfect moment. You are declaring to yourself, I am in control of my actions, my reactions, and my choices. And with that mindset, you step into the day with confidence, calmness, and a readiness to make a difference. Responsibility is not just the foundation of success. It is the starting point of every path of growth. When you master your day, you're already halfway to winning it, and that is the first step, the step of empowerment. The second thing you should remind yourself of each morning is, I can. It might sound simple, but don't underestimate the power of those three words. I can is a powerful affirmation of your inner potential. It's a reminder that no matter how great the challenges ahead may be, you are capable of facing them. We live in a world that often makes us feel like we're not enough. There's always someone faster, smarter, wealthier. But don't let those comparisons cloud the truth. You have the skills, the determination, and the inner strength to overcome anything. I can is not boasting. It doesn't come from arrogance. It comes from an honest recognition of your incredible strengths. There's a saying, everything you need is already within you, and that is the truth. When you say I can, you are giving yourself permission to believe, not just in your current abilities, but in the ones you will develop. It doesn't mean you won't fail. It simply means you are ready to face failure, learn from mistakes, and keep going. You don't need to get everything right the first time. What you need is to give your best and be willing to try again if needed. That is resilience. When you begin your day with the mindset of I can, you set a strong mental foundation. You don't rely on luck or wait for perfect conditions. You rely on yourself. Ability is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Each time you say I can, you are training your mind to see challenges as opportunities rather than threats. Instead of avoiding difficulties, you start approaching them with curiosity. What will this teach me? How will I grow from this? With that mindset, obstacles are no longer barriers. They become stepping stones leading you to a better version of yourself. Remember, self-doubt is a silent but powerful enemy. It often starts small, then grows stronger if you feed it with fear and procrastination. Each time you say I can, you shrink that doubt. You're sending a message to yourself, I'm afraid, but I'm moving forward anyway. Capability is a choice. It's the decision to believe in yourself, even when the world gives you every reason to doubt. Think back to the times when you overcame something that once felt impossible. Maybe it was a difficult exam, a big project, or a crisis-filled chapter of your life. In those moments, you didn't give up. You persevered, and eventually you succeeded. That is the power of action, a capability built and strengthened over time through each challenge you've faced and overcome. And if anyone has ever asked, but what if I'm not good enough? Remember, just because something is hard doesn't mean you can't do it. In fact, the hard things are often what shape you into someone better. Being capable doesn't mean doing everything easily. It means finding the courage to act in spite of difficulty. You'll be surprised by the strength you already hold, a strength that only activates when you dare to step forward and trust yourself. When you give yourself a chance by saying, I can, you're not just making a simple affirmation. You're setting a standard for how you live. You're telling yourself, I will not back down from challenges. I will not let fear, doubt, or anxiety hold me back. Because you believe that you already have what it takes within you to make today a success, and that belief, once truly embraced, begins to transform your behavior. You start acting like someone who can. You stop avoiding problems. You face them with confidence and initiative. You take on projects that you once thought were too much. You put yourself in challenging situations, not because they're easy, but because you understand that only through challenge can real growth occur. That's the beauty of the I can mindset. It opens doors, not just to opportunities, but to personal growth. You stop fearing uncertainty because you believe that no matter what lies on the other side, you are strong enough to face it. Most importantly, capability is not fixed. It's not a destination, it's a journey. Being capable today doesn't mean you've reached your limit. In truth, real capability is the realization that you are always in the process of becoming, always learning, always rising. When you say I can, you're committing to that journey of growth. You're saying that you're willing to improve, willing to learn from your mistakes, and willing to become better each day. Capability doesn't stay still, it expands with every action, every courageous choice you make. That's why this phrase is so powerful when you begin each morning with it. It's a reminder that you're not finished, that you're still moving toward the best version of yourself. And when you believe in your own ability, that belief radiates into every area of your life, from relationships, work, and health to your dreams. People are drawn to those who believe in themselves, not because of arrogance, but because that belief is inspiring. People want to be around those who greet life with confidence, face adversity with resolve, and refuse to give up easily. Every morning when you say I can, you become that kind of person. You begin to reshape your self-image, for yourself and for the world, as someone who lives with unwavering belief in their own potential. So say it again, not just with words, but with action. Truly believe I can. Let that declaration remind you of your inner strength, the resilience you've built, and the untapped potential that still lies ahead. I can isn't about knowing all the answers. It's about trusting that you are capable of finding them, that no matter what life throws your way, you will rise, move forward, and overcome. And that, my friend, is a powerful way to start your day. Now it's time to say the third phrase to yourself: I am grateful. Gratitude is a foundational mindset that can change not just your day, but your entire life. It's like a lens through which you view the world. When you wake up and say, I am grateful, you're choosing to focus on what's good, on what you have, rather than what you lack. You're not looking at what's missing, what's broken, or what you wish were different. You're focusing on what's working, on the good that exists in your life, big or small. Even a slight shift in perspective like that can create a deep, lasting impact. Why is gratitude so powerful? Because it puts your mind into a state of abundance rather than scarcity. It reminds you you're alive, you have health, you have people you love, skills you are building, and opportunities ahead. When you begin your day with gratitude, you're setting a tone of peace and contentment, a powerful antidote to the endless hunger for more. Gratitude becomes a shield that protects you from negativity. Life will always come with challenges and disappointments. But if you can view even the hard moments through the lens of gratitude, you'll begin to see them differently. You'll recognize that even in pain, there is something to learn. Even in failure, there's a glimmer of growth. That doesn't mean everything is perfect. It simply means you have the ability to find value in any situation, even in the darkest of moments. That is the magic of gratitude. It multiplies when you start with the smallest things. When you're truly grateful for something simple, like a peaceful morning, a smile, or even just a deep breath, your mind starts to change. It becomes trained to notice the good, to appreciate the little things, to see the reasons to feel full and enough. The more you practice gratitude, the more things you'll find to be grateful for. It's like a snowball. The more it rolls, the bigger and stronger it gets. You begin to find joy in every moment, to feel lucky in what once seemed ordinary, and your spirit is uplifted a little more each day. This isn't just an abstract concept. This is the real power of transforming your mindset and the way you live. Many studies have shown that people who practice gratitude tend to be happier, healthier, and more resilient. Why? Because they learn to focus on what's going right instead of getting stuck on what's not yet perfect. When you say, I am grateful, you're not just expressing appreciation, you're building emotional resilience. Think about it: if you face life with a grateful heart, then even when things don't go your way, you're still able to move forward. You'll be able to say, yes, this was a failure, but I'm grateful for the opportunity to learn from it. I'm grateful that it gave me a chance to become a better version of myself. That is the difference between being knocked down by challenges and rising above them. Gratitude gives you a solid foundation to stand on in the middle of life's storms. It doesn't make you blind to reality or force you to pretend everything is fine. On the contrary, it invites you to look deeper, to find what's right and meaningful, even in hardship. Sometimes that's as simple as being thankful for a new day, another chance to grow. It's being grateful for the people you love or the lessons from your past, even those paid for with tears. Gratitude doesn't require a perfect life. It only asks you to seek value in the present. When you start your day by saying, I am grateful, you're making a promise to yourself to live with open eyes, always looking for the good. But that's not all. Gratitude has a unique power to deepen your relationships. When you live in a state of gratitude, you naturally start seeing the good in others. You begin to appreciate their strengths, recognize their efforts, and even accept their flaws. Instead of focusing on what others haven't done, you see clearly the value they bring into your life. This helps you become more understanding, more generous, and more connected to the people around you. And when you say, I am grateful each morning, you're preparing your heart to notice the good in everyone you meet. And trust me, that leads to stronger, more genuine, and more positive relationships. Finally, don't forget one beautiful side effect of gratitude. It opens the door to even better things. When you're truly grateful for what you already have, others can feel it. They're drawn to your positive energy, to someone who appreciates life rather than constantly complaining or dwelling on what's missing. Gratitude makes you magnetic, not by appearances, but through the energy you radiate. It creates a positive atmosphere around you, and that energy attracts opportunities, people, and experiences that make your life richer and more meaningful. I especially love a simple yet profound story about a man who had a habit of always saying thank you, no matter what happened. When something good came his way, he said thank you. But the remarkable part is, even when things didn't go as hoped, he still said thank you. Because he believed that in every experience, good or bad, there was either a lesson or a hidden blessing. At first, people thought he was strange, but over time they began to notice that he seemed happier, calmer, and stronger than anyone else. Well, because he didn't wait for life to be perfect to allow himself to feel happy. He found joy in what he already had, in every lesson, every experience, and the small delights that each day brought. So when you begin your morning by saying, "I am grateful," you're setting an attitude of deep appreciation. You're reminding yourself that no matter what happens today, there is always something worth being thankful for. And that very gratitude becomes a guiding light, giving you strength, inner peace, and a more positive outlook as you step into the new day. Just imagine going through a day with that kind of mindset. Instead of rushing through, you start to notice the little moments, a smile, a word of encouragement, a gentle ray of sunlight. You appreciate the small victories, the acts of kindness, and the simple joys. Life is truly woven from these very moments. And when you live with gratitude, you begin to realize every single day becomes richer and more meaningful. This doesn't mean you let go of your big goals in life. It simply means you don't have to wait until you achieve everything to feel whole. You find fulfillment in the journey itself, in the people you meet, the growth you experience, and the lessons you learn along the way. Gratitude is also a deep expression of humility. It reminds you that you didn't get to where you are today alone. There were people, opportunities, and even seemingly small things that helped bring you here. When you are grateful, you're acknowledging that you are part of something greater, that you are not only the creator of your life, but also the recipient of many good things from the world around you. This humility keeps your feet on the ground and your heart open. It reminds you that life is a gift, that each day is an opportunity, and that there is always something, no matter how small, worth being grateful for. So each morning before you rush into the busy rhythm of life, take just a few seconds to whisper, "I am grateful." Let that phrase sink into your mind. Let it remind you of the good, the people who've supported you, the chances you've had, and the lessons you've lived through. Gratitude is not just a word, it is a state of being. And when you begin your day with gratitude, you're placing yourself in a position to see the world in a new light, a light of abundance, of peace, and of the strength to overcome whatever comes your way. Gratitude can be practiced in many ways, big or small. It could be a few minutes of reflection on what you're thankful for. It could be a quiet thank you whispered to the morning. It could be a few lines you jot down in your journal each day. The form doesn't matter. What matters is that it comes from the heart. Let gratitude become your way of acknowledging that, despite the ups and downs, every day carries its own unique value worthy of being lived to the fullest. If you find these reflections meaningful, don't hesitate to share your thoughts below. You're here, you're still listening. Leave a number 1 to let me know you're still with me and to help spread gratitude even further. Next, the 4th thing you should say to yourself every morning is, "I focus on growth." Picture growth not as a perfect straight line. Sometimes it's 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But as long as you remain committed, as long as you keep reminding yourself every day, "I am growing," then you are moving in the right direction. Growth isn't always glamorous. Sometimes it happens quietly, in patience, in trying again, after a failure, or in a brave decision no one else sees. But every small effort is silently laying a stronger foundation, deepening your understanding and building a greater capacity to face whatever life throws your way. A growth mindset gives you resilience. When you commit to growth, you're not easily defeated by setbacks. You're not held back by fear nor crushed by judgment. Why? Because you understand that, no matter the outcome, the experience is still part of your learning journey. It will teach you, shape you, and make you better. This is the real power of a growth mindset. Whatever happens, I will learn from it. I will grow through it, and I will become better because of it. When you focus on growth, you begin to attract new opportunities. Those who actively learn, improve, and expand their abilities are the ones the world takes notice of. Opportunities aren't random. They find those who are ready to receive them and strong enough to seize them. And when you tell yourself, I focus on growth, you're preparing yourself to grasp those very opportunities. You're building the skills, the confidence, and the mindset needed to recognize and fully take advantage of the doors that open. However, growth also requires patience. It's easy to feel discouraged when you give your best and the results don't come right away. But when you truly believe in growth, you understand that progress takes time. It's like planting a seed. You can't expect it to bloom overnight. You have to water it, care for it, and persist. And one day you'll see it sprout, grow, and become something strong and beautiful. Focusing on growth also means letting go of comparisons. Growth is a personal journey, unique to each individual. When you truly turn inward and focus on your own path, you're no longer influenced by the pace of others. It doesn't matter who's ahead or who's behind, because your goal isn't to beat someone else, it's to surpass the person you were yesterday. This is a powerful place from which to begin each day. It's a place where you embrace challenges as opportunities, not to prove anything to the world, but to grow, to become stronger, and to live more deeply. Often the hardest times are the ones that teach you the most. When you're challenged, when you're forced to change or adapt, that's when real growth happens. You begin to understand that growth doesn't come from your comfort zone. It blossoms through experiences that are difficult, yet deeply meaningful. And ultimately, focusing on growth makes you more adaptable. Life is a constant series of changes, and most of them are beyond your control. When you cultivate a growth mindset, you don't freeze when the unexpected happens. Instead, you bend like bamboo, firm but flexible, to sway with the wind without breaking, able to adapt without losing your core values. True growth doesn't turn you into someone else. It helps you become a better version of yourself, more patient, more resilient, more thoughtful, and braver every day. So every morning, before you step out into the world, take a moment to tell yourself, I focus on growth. This isn't just a statement. It's a commitment that you will live fully on your journey, learn from everything, and continue to move forward. When you say I focus on growth, you're not just repeating words. You're setting a high standard for how you live. It's a pledge to never settle, never stagnate in comfort. You're declaring that you will live a life of continuous improvement, always advancing, always discovering new limits, always learning and enriching yourself through every experience. You're reminding yourself that there's always something to learn, always something to improve, and always an opportunity to become a better version of who you are. And it is this unwavering commitment to growth, to constant refinement, that will ultimately lead you to a life of deep meaning, richness, and true impact. So each day, whisper or boldly declare to yourself, I focus on growth. Let those words empower you to embrace new challenges, seek new experiences, and learn from every situation, whether joyful or painful, whether a success or a failure. Growth is never an easy path. It requires you to step out of your comfort zone, face your fears, and learn how to rise again after every fall. But it is precisely because it is difficult that it is worth it. When you make growth the focus of your everyday life, you are not just changing yourself. You are expanding your heart, deepening your relationships, and building a future that truly reflects the highest potential within you. You'll begin to see the world through different eyes, where once you saw obstacles, you'll now see opportunities. Where there was disappointment, you'll find lessons. Every day, every choice, every small action compounds, leading you to places you once thought impossible, helping you achieve things you once believed were out of reach. Growth is not about speed, it's about direction. It's about ensuring that with each passing day, you're moving closer to the person you were born to become. When you affirm each morning, I focus on growth, you are putting yourself on that path, the path of purposeful living, responsible living, and living with the belief that you can and deserve to become the best version of yourself. And now the fifth and final thing you should say to yourself every morning is, I control my attitude. Attitude is an invisible yet powerful force. It shapes how you see the world, how you interact with others, how you face challenges, and most importantly, how you view yourself. While you may not be able to control every circumstance in life, you can always control your attitude. When you say, "I control my attitude," you are empowering yourself to choose your response. You are refusing to be a victim of fleeting emotions or external situations. Attitude is a choice. Every hour, every minute, every moment, you have the power to choose optimism or pessimism, to see opportunity or obstacles, to trust or to doubt. Why is this important? Because attitude is often the line between success and failure. It's what keeps you resilient when adversity hits, what helps you move forward when everything is falling apart, and what holds you upright when life tries to knock you down. With the right attitude, you become unstoppable. Imagine this attitude is like the pair of glasses you wear. If you choose dark lenses, the whole world appears gloomy. But if you choose a lens that is clear and full of light, you'll see beauty even in the midst of storms. When you say, "I control my attitude," you are choosing those glasses. You are choosing how you see the world with hope, gratitude, and strength. A positive attitude not only helps you live better, it radiates outward. It shapes the way you treat others. You become more patient, more understanding, more compassionate. You begin to see the good in others and help them see the good in themselves. You become a light in someone else's life. You inspire simply by showing up with a strong and kind spirit. And that is the power you have every morning with just one sentence, "I control my attitude." This statement can change how you live today. And if repeated every day, it can change your entire life. Attitude is not something you set once and forget. It is a choice you must continuously renew every hour, every moment of the day. You may start your morning with a positive spirit, but then an unexpected obstacle, a harsh comment, or an unwanted situation may challenge that attitude. It is precisely in these moments that the real work begins. When everything around you shakes you, take a deep breath, bring your mind back to center, and once again choose to respond with calmness, optimism, and determination. By reminding yourself, "I control my attitude," you are not just riding out the wave, but learning how to steer your own ship. Attitude determines the quality of your inner life. Without the right attitude, even the most wonderful experiences can feel dull. But with the right attitude, even the simplest moments can be filled with meaning. When you choose a positive and resilient attitude, you nurture a sense of peace and joy that does not depend on external circumstances. You build a strong inner world where you hold the helm. I won't say this is always easy. There will be days when everything seems to turn against you, moments when patience feels exhausted, and anger and frustration threaten to overwhelm. But it is precisely in those moments that commitment to a positive attitude becomes most important. Repeating the phrase, "I control my attitude," is how you prepare your mind to face challenges with inner strength. Attitude is also connected with gratitude. When you are grateful, you focus on what you have, what is working smoothly rather than what is missing. Gratitude helps you maintain positivity easily, to be more empathetic, patient, and steady. And another wonderful thing is attitude is contagious. Others will feel the energy you carry. When you enter a room with the light of faith, hope, in the spirit of "I can do this," you inspire those around you. Conversely, a negative attitude drags down the mood of the whole room. That is why great leaders always stand out by their attitude. They choose to show up with faith no matter the circumstances. When you say, "I control my attitude," you are not only committing to yourself, you are setting an example. You remind everyone that no matter what life brings, each person always has the right to choose how to respond. And that is one of the most powerful gifts you can give the world. Attitude also directly affects success. When you approach your goals with belief and persistence, you keep your motivation even when difficulties arise. You don't give up easily. On the other hand, with a negative attitude, even a small obstacle can make you quit. But when you maintain focus and commitment, you begin to see failure as a necessary part of the journey, an opportunity to learn and grow. The right attitude will always bring you closer to success. So every morning, say with full awareness, "I control my attitude." Let this phrase guide you. No matter what today brings you, to have the power to choose your response. You have the right to maintain optimism, focus, and determination. You have the right to create a positive atmosphere for today, for conversations, for interactions, for every experience. And it is this choice, this power that will lift you up. With a positive attitude, you are ready for whatever life throws your way. You are ready to face challenges with courage, communicate with kindness, and pursue your goals with resolve. You are ready to live fully in every moment, making the most of every second. And that, dear friend, is a powerful way to live. Take a few minutes each morning to reconnect with yourself through these empowering reminders. Remember, you're not simply repeating words, you're setting an intention to live purposefully. Each morning is an opportunity to align your actions with the deepest values within you. These aren't just phrases you say and forget. They are reminders of the person you strive to become and the path you choose to follow. Life is always full of distractions, unexpected challenges, and moments of doubt. But when you start your day with clarity, a focused heart, and a reminder of your inner strength and worth, you are better prepared to face it all. You are bringing your attention back to the one thing you truly can control: your attitude, your perspective, and your personal growth. Those quiet moments each morning lay the foundation for building a day full of purpose, resilience, and meaning. Each morning is a blank page. With these strong affirmations, you not only set a positive tone for yourself, but also prepare to bring the best you have to the world. Think of your morning moments as the time you set the compass for your life, a moment to recall what truly matters, and to step into the new day with confidence, clarity, and direction. It's the small but intentional actions grounded in your values and vision that create a meaningful life day by day. When you begin each morning with these affirmations, you are choosing to live with purpose and power. Embrace it. And before I close today's message, I want to sincerely thank you. Thank you for taking the time to reflect with me on the power of attitude, on how it shapes not only your inner life, but also ripples out to the world around you. We've talked about how attitude isn't a one-time decision, but a continuous choice you make every day, especially during difficult moments. We've also explored how gratitude, resilience, and positivity can completely change the trajectory of your life, not just for a day, but for an entire journey. Now, I want to hear from you. Which message resonated with you the most today? What have you learned that you can apply immediately in your life? I encourage you to take a few minutes to reflect and share your thoughts in the comments below. Talk about one thing you have learned and how you plan to practice it in your daily life. And if you find these words valuable, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Doing so helps you stay connected to inspiring content like this, things that help you live a purposeful, positive, and continuously growing life. Thank you for being here. I truly look forward to hearing how you will turn today into the start of something new on your life journey.